The Blood Tree. Cale found his father, Joseph, surrounded by a sea of paper. Old photographs, faded maps, and handwritten notes covered the dining table. "What's all this?" Cale asked. Joseph smiled, his eyes gleaming. "This, my son, is a treasure map, but it doesn't lead to gold. It leads to us. We're going to trace the footsteps of our ancestors." Joseph began with the oldest kind of map, a story. "My grandfather used to tell me we came from a line of kings, driven from the rolling hills of Rwanda by conflict. He said our family name was like a whisper of royalty, changed over time, but never forgotten." Cale listened, picturing misty green hills and powerful rulers. The stories were a starting point. Next, they hunted for facts in the quiet halls of an archive. Dust motes danced in the light as they carefully turned the brittle pages of old ledgers. "Look," Joseph whispered, his finger tracing a line of elegant script. There it was, their family name, recorded by an official 100 years ago, noting their clan's origin in Rwanda. "Stories and records can take us far," Joseph said, holding two small plastic tubes. "But science can take us further." He explained that their DNA held a secret history, a genetic signature called a haplogroup, passed down from father to son for thousands of generations. It was a direct line to their most ancient ancestors. Weeks later, an email arrived. Cale and his father gathered around the computer, their hearts pounding. The first result lit up the screen, a strong genetic link to the very region in Rwanda his great-grandfather had spoken of, a region known for its royal clans. The old story wasn't just a story. It was true. But there was more. Joseph scrolled down the page. "Cale, look at this. Our paternal haplogroup. It's one of the oldest ever discovered." He explained that their genetic branch was like an ancient tree, with its roots right here in East Africa. They were carrying a piece of history from the dawn of humanity. The final piece of the puzzle was the most astonishing. The test traced their direct paternal line, the very trunk of their family tree, to the Sandawe people of Tanzania. "The Sandawe," Joseph read aloud, "are one of the first peoples of this land. They are hunter-gatherers whose language is filled with ancient clicks and pops." A map on the screen illustrated their incredible journey through time. A line started in the ancient heartland of the Sandawe in Tanzania, snaked north into the hills of Rwanda where their royal ancestors lived, then moved south to Burundi, where their grandfather was born. It was the path their DNA had traveled over millennia. Joseph looked at Cale, his expression serious. "For years, people in our part of the world have fought over who belongs where, drawing lines between them. But look at our story. It connects us to kings and to ancient hunters. It crosses borders and unites different peoples." Cale finally understood. The journey hadn't just been about his family. It was a glimpse into the story of all families. The lines people drew on maps and in their minds seemed so small now. The real map, the one written in their DNA, showed that everyone, everywhere, was a distant cousin, and that was a treasure worth finding.